Hi, I'd like to tell you all about my rebozos and why I set up a little online rebozo shop. So there's an interesting history to that. Is that about 4 years ago I started teaching a postnatal massage called Closing the Bones, and which is a postnatal massage that I learned from Dr. Rocio Alarcon, who is a shaman and traditional midwife and botanist from Ecuador. And Rocio taught us that part of the massage involved rocking and binding the hips with a rebozo. And when I started teaching this, people said, "Where can I find rebozos?" And I just said, "Well, just go and look on Etsy." And there wasn't really a lot of people selling rebozos in the UK. And what happened is, because of the postage, most of the sellers seems to be in the States and in Mexico. So buying a single rebozo, once you add the postage cost and the custom taxes, and it turned out to be quite an expensive exercise for most people. So I think I carried on teaching for about a year, and every workshop, people said, "Do you sell rebozos? Where can I find some rebozos?" So in the end, I got in touch with a doula friend of mine who had a supplier in Mexico, and I started bringing some to my workshop. And I started with rebozos like this one, which is a open weave rebozo. And what I mean by open weave is, you can see that the weave has little part of it was very thin in the fabric, which is a advantage when you do things like closing the bones, because that sort of open weave fabric seems to cup the body and grip the body really well, which is ideal for rocking and binding when you do the closing the bone massage. And then, so for a year, I just brought those rebozos to the workshops, and people bought them there. And I had this one supplier, and then this supplier disappeared. It just went AWOL and didn't get my order sent. And so I had to spend several weeks hunting and asking everybody I knew, from doulas to baby wearing instructors, where can I find rebozos? It wasn't an easy feat, because I got given lots of links of people. When I emailed them, the email bounced, the website was down. There are not a lot of people making them who are actually exporting them. So after a lot of asking questions, I had some funny situation where I contacted people who only spoke Spanish, and I had to get a Spanish doula friend who spoke Spanish to translate everything for me. I remember making phone calls, and they didn't speak French or English, they spoke only Spanish. So that was an interesting exercise. Eventually, after a few months of searching, I did find, I think I have about 5 different suppliers. Sort of 3 are in Mexico, and I have now one in Guatemala and one in Ecuador. The one in Ecuador was a total fluke, because I was buying a drum bag from them, and I said, "Do you have mantas?" which is what rebozos are called in Ecuador. And they said, "What do you mean by manta?" And I said, "Well, here's a picture." And they said, "Oh yeah, I think we have those at the market." And they ended up becoming people I buy mantas from in Ecuador, when it's not even part of what they actually stock on their shop. So there you go. So I just want to quickly show you, well, the reason I do that. First, let me quickly explain the reason why I ended up setting this online shop. Is because now there are enough people who know I've got rebozos that every week I get contacted by people trying to buy a rebozo, and it's becoming a time-consuming process to go and take pictures and tell people what I've got, and give them my bank details and PayPal account, and they get their email address, get their postal address, and sort everything out. So I thought, the time has come to launch my own little online rebozo shop. So I'm just going to briefly show you what I've got. So I've got, obviously, some of those open weave rebozos. I've got them in several colors, and I've also got some of these patterned rebozos. I've got those in pink and blue, as well as purple. It's one of my favorite ones, this one. And I've got some more different pattern ones. Again, those come in different. I've got this type and this type. You can see there are 2 different patterns. This one is called high C because it's got fishes on it. I don't know if you can see the fishes. You have to know there's fish in there to see them. And this one is called honeycomb pattern. And I also have those, which are the one I've got behind me, which are stripy ones. With this one is pink and purple, and I've got this black and kind of rebozo-y stripy one as well. And one of the things I pride myself on is that I've had lengthy discussion with all of my supplier, and every single one of them is completely ethical business. They're all very small individual or family businesses, and they make rebozos by hand on traditional wooden looms. And some of the, I will put a link underneath this video, one of the supplier sent me a beautiful video that shows the process through which they make the rebozos. And they told me they even give rebozos for free to the local midwifery practice. So I hope that gives you a little idea of what I have in my shop, and if you want to go and visit my shop, I think having this beautiful, colourful rebozo is a perfect gift for yourself or a friend who's a birth worker. Thank you.